Scherff against Alex Hacker. Hacker brought the fight to him. He had a lot of energy, and he had the Muay Thai striking and everything. Hoobler Scherff and his jiu-jitsu is what won that fight.
And that was also his first fight back after an extended layoff as well. So he took about, almost 2 years off from the cage and came back and took on a guy who was maybe one of the hottest 170-pound fighters in Kentucky, and Alex Hacker. Alex, I know, had just come back off of fighting in Las Vegas for King of the Cage, and Hoobler Scherff looked great in that fight.
He has a kickboxing fight coming up, Alex does.
Actually, is it tonight at Glory? I think he does.
It is Glory. Is it tonight? I don't know.
It's in Chicago, I know that.
Representing 4 seasons from Lexington, Kentucky, Travis
Travis Conner has a big following here, it looks like.
making his 170-pound pro debut, representing Club MMA from Cincinnati, Ohio, Nikolos.
Definitely still seems to be a Hoobler Scherff pro crowd, though, here. Of course, fighting just over the river from Cincinnati, the western part of Cincinnati. Pro debut here for Nikolos Hoobler Scherff. Third pro fight for Travis Conner, who is in the gray. Hoobler Scherff in the black. John House with the GoPro is a referee for this one. You see immediately Travis Conner, he doesn't throw a ton of punches, but he throws heavy punches. Yeah. Not a lot of jabs coming from Travis Conner. Big overhand right there from Conner.
Used it to close the distance and work in.
This is a really interesting pro debut, too, for Hoobler Scherff against a guy who has, a pretty good prospect in his own right in Travis Conner, a guy who 7-1 as an amateur, and really tough fight here for both guys.
Yeah.
Looks like Hoobler Scherff slipped there on that leg kick.
Travis leading in with that left hook to the body to close distance.
See those elbows there from Hoobler Scherff there. Of course, can't do that in the amateur ranks. Nice slam there from Travis Conner, and we've definitely seen some huge slams. I think that was maybe on the lower end of the impact level from some of his slams that we've seen. Nevertheless, he gets the job done. You see Hoobler Scherff has control of that overhook on the left arm of Travis Conner, who just muscles it out. I've seen this before from him too. I've seen him in side control, pounding a guy out and just stands up out of it, Travis Conner.
Well, he's got him a guillotine now he's working for. Well, the thing is he knows what he likes to do. And as a pro, at this point in the game, when you turn pro, you should be able to dictate what's happening. And Conner is definitely doing that. If he doesn't want to do something, he's going to get back up, make him stand. He's like, well, I just want to do this.
When he's doing that, he stands up, but then immediately goes for another takedown. Is that just trying to score points, or is that just trying to say,
Can
hey, you know
be.
what?
Or it's just, again, it's –
maybe I just want to try to get inside control here this time. And
yeah,
pick
maybe.
You up
I mean,
and
even
slam you on your
though just because you get somebody down and maybe you just don't get to the position that you wanted to get into. So
jab there.
His counter striking though off of Hoobler Scherff's jab. Like every time he even throws a punch, Connor's making him eat one for it.
And that was a heavy leg kick there from Hoobler Scherff. Oh, and Conner got clipped.
Yeah, caught him on the way in.
Body shot there from Hoobler Scherff. One of the more underutilized aspects of MMA is body shots. But Hoobler Scherff does it just about as well as anybody at this level. Nice left hook there, following up with a combination. Nice knee there from Nikolos Hoobler Scherff. You see Conner blocking those, but Hoobler Scherff starting to tee off here. Now stalking Conner.
Yeah.
Couple more body shots and a big right hand there from Hoobler Scherff. And that seemed to daze Conner. Another body shot. And you see the mouth wide open of Travis Conner.
Yeah, Connor needs to.
Another knee there.
I was going to say, look for him to probably shoot in and try to tie in.
And if you're Hoobler Scherff, you need to use this underhook here that you have on the left side. Try to turn Travis Connor off of you. You don't want a tired guy to just be able to lay on you. Another nice knee there from Hoobler Scherff off the cage. Hoobler Scherff is a guy who has a lot of tools. Now Travis Connor trying to drop down and trying to get that double leg.
Yep.
And again, just releases there.
Watch for the leg kick.
The head kick there from Hoobler Scherff. And Connor still throwing heavy leather. Big right hand there. That came from the hip.
Yeah, and that one barely grazed past.
He probably heard the whiff of the glove flying past his ears. Hoobler Scherff now starting to tee off.
Throwing some
the
elbows.
Crowd coming to life here.
Knee to the body. So another.
A lot of damage.
Very action-packed fight.
Yeah, and Hoobler Scherff almost with a methodical pace, almost trying to pick Connor apart here. Another nice knee there.
He's mixing it up good with knees and elbows and combinations.
Something we've seen pretty much his whole career, even as an amateur. Now being able to use those elbows as well. He's done a great job utilizing those elbows thus far. Connor now looking to try to get this takedown. 10 seconds left here in round number 1. See if Connor can either finish the takedown or if Hoobler Scherff can do any more damage. And that was a great round there. Some members of the crowd standing on their feet.
Man, Hoobler Scherff is one crafty fighter.
He definitely, seems that's I think the perfect explanation of how he fights as a fighter. He doesn't necessarily try to force anything. He really just takes what's there and says, you know what, I have plenty of tools, and I'm just going to use take whatever you give me.
He seems to have a very strong feel or a good feel of the pulse of the fight or the pace.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what another great point there is. I was going to say that he seems to be able to kind of let the fight come to him and be able to utilize whatever tools he has. You see,
I just remember that the Alex Hacker fight, man. He looked to me like he was losing. But he was in there, and he stuck with it.
Came back and was able to get the finish in that fight, I believe, in the 4th round by TKO.
Yes.
And that's a good fight to take as your last amateur fight. And a guy like Alex Hacker is a pretty polished fighter in his own right. And Travis Connor's corner telling him to pump that jab and immediately blast that right hand. And Connor is throwing heavy. If he is able to land one flush, Hoobler Scherff might go down here.
What a fight.
Connor again just releasing. Nice jab there from another body shot there from Hoobler Scherff. And that's just something that a lot of MMA fighters don't utilize is the body shot.
Yeah.
And those body shots are really what kind of take the toll later in the fight. Hoobler Scherff now with the body lock here gets the takedown. Was in half guard, now in full mount. Has this arm triangle locked in, looks like he might be able to step over and try to finish this. And Connor needs to try to use, they call it answer the telephone with that left hand. Doesn't look like it's fully locked in just yet.
No, he tapped. I actually think
said it.
That's very similar to what he got Alex Hacker with, if I remember correctly. Wow.
Yeah, definitely did a great job of, again, kind of just taking what was given to him and utilizing that and finishing the fight.
Very impressive victory in his professional debut.
Against a very, very tough, durable fighter in Travis Connor, a guy who had, already two pro fights under his belt, and masterful performance there from Nikolos Hoobler Scherff.
What do they say if you're going to wear a robe and a top hat? You better back it up.
Who says that?
That's just what everyone says.
That's what they would say, but yeah, I completely agree with you. If you're going to come
tonight,
out with
he certainly did. I say continue with the robe and the top hat.
He's earned it.
He's earned it.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute and 12 seconds of round number 2. Your winner, tap out 2-2-arm triangle, Nikolos Hoobler.
Nikolos Hoobler Scherff now 1-0 in his pro career. Gets a round of applause there from all of his fans in the crowd.
All right, folks, hey, you're now 1-0 pro, Nikolos Hoobler. Just want to give a huge shout out to all my fans out there. Our family, my club, man. You guys all put in the blood, sweat, and here, so thank you much, guys. Focus Fight Team, Club MMA. Keep it going strong, guys. Folks, give it up. 1-0 pro, Nikolos Hoobler.
Of course, if you're going to come out